Hi, I'm not sure if this is live or not. Thank you for joining me. This is Educators with Oil, not Educators with Oil. We're under the umbrella of Educators with Oil. We have changed to Empowered Educators. So, today is my first time going live. I think I'm live. Oh, not. Okay. Hi. Thank you for joining me. I am Ronnette Branham, host of Empowered Educators under the umbrella of Educators with Oil. Um, so today um, is my first time going live on Instagram. I'm just trying it out. So uh, just bear with me over here. Again, thank you for joining me on Empowered Educators. Anybody who's joined, I appreciate it. We have been for the past almost 2 years educators with oil, and now we're going to be um, empowered educators. So we want to empower educators and enrich lives. Same, um, same platform. Always, we're always, um, hmm, we're always providing strategies for effective teaching. So that has not changed. So I'm going to wait just 1 minute to see if anybody joins. I have one person on YouTube. I appreciate that. So I'm watching how this works over here. Thank you. So I'm just going to get into it. Um, I'm just going to get into it, and I'm going to talk about. 1 second. I'm going to talk about that navigating that final stretch at the end of the school year. You know how it gets to end of the school year, the kids get antsy as soon as it starts getting warm. Some of you are warm um, for a while if you're in the South or in the West Coast, but it's in New Jersey here. When it starts getting warm, students start getting antsy. So we just want to talk about what do we do going into that last marking period. Again, some people are in the last marking period already, and I understand that, but we still have things that we want to do and discuss about the end of the year. The end of the year comes with a lot of opportunity, a lot of challenges, and we could just figure out what we need to do. Like you have to evaluate the student progress. I know last week I talked about that. I discussed that. This week I wanted to go live and see what we can get, if we can get conversation about it, because we all are going through different things, different grades, different challenges, different opportunities. As I said, talking about our student progress, do we let the students take charge of their, or have a lot of more input into their, what they're learning at the end of the year? What I've done, even for that, I find that the gap has widened, even with my I don't want to say high achievers, the students that have met the standards or have excelled, past the standards. And then there are some who are still struggling. You know how we identified those students probably a while ago. So there's a difference. So what I've done now, usually during literacy, we have small group and we rotate from small group to reading to writing. So now today I've incorporated a sign up sheet. So they get to put in their slot, two people at a time, put in their slot to, let's work on their challenges. That is something, let's work on what needs to be worked on. We have to make some progress before the end of the year, get the students ready for the next year, get some things in them that they won't forget over the summer. That's a big challenge to me. That's a big challenge where we're trying to, make sure that the students are getting what they need. Then we have those final assessments towards the end of the year. This week we're testing. We're testing, and we're having teachers coming in, principals, administration coming in to evaluate us at the same time where we're testing our students. So that is a lot. And then maybe we want to, like I talked about last year, we want to get to where we have projects that will encompass everything that we're trying to do. It might be reading, it may be summarizing what we learned in a project. The students could be able to choose, or you choose. And how are we grading? Again, we talked about that last week, and I just want to get into it and discuss it. I'm kind of sweating here because I'm live on YouTube. Not on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube, of course, but I'm sweating. I'm live here on Instagram, and so I'm getting nervous looking over there. I've never done that before. So we just want to talk about what is it. We have opportunities. We have a lot of opportunities now towards the end of the school year, and that's where I am. I have like a one of the learning loss teachers. She comes in, she takes some students out, and if she sees like they didn't get enough gain in the year, she's asked me to buddy one student up with another student with a higher level of reading student. So that is something we can do. We used to have, sometimes you have reading groups or math groups with students on the same level or maybe a little bit near each other. But having a student who hasn't even reached the standards with somebody who has met the standards or exceeding the standards, that will help. I have the students today reading together, and they were all different levels, and they helped each other. They helped each other with the words. They helped each other with the meaning of what we were talking about to describe it. So that's something. Um, Use quizzes. I love quizzes. Our math has quizzes at the end of every day. So the students know if they learn the concepts for that day. They learned that. So that is something too that that you can do. I don't know. I wish I knew who this is. If you could, if you would like to ask a question or discuss what you do for the end of the year, because now's the time to identify concerns that we have with struggling students. And I am just trying to incorporate everything. We are having sort of like crash study sessions where we're going through different things like expanded form, a written form for math. We are crashing that. We actually didn't learn that yet. We didn't get that far. So we had to do some crash studying. We are just this week going into hundreds, adding hundreds to get to thousands, adding within 1,000. So that is something that we're just now getting into, and we're testing already on this. We just learned time, and the time and the money went so fast, we didn't even do 4 lessons on each. I don't know if we did the 4 lessons on the time at all. I'm not sure. Maybe we did, but it's just now we have to buckle down and put our heads together and figure out what we're going to do for the next marking period. And also, we have to have creative lesson plans, because with those lesson plans they have to be creative, because our students are, like I said, they're antsy this time of the year. And if they're antsy and then they're trying to do other things, I think I kind of made a mistake today. It worked as far as the student behavior. I always have prizes, but I did something different so that there won't be any issues with the prizes. So I decided not to give every student a prize every day, or whoever. Some people, because that makes it like certain students, same students every day are getting a prize, and I don't like that, because students aren't bad. They just have issues where they are not ready. You know, ready. They're not. So I brought in loads of prizes. They were just so excited. So I brought in loads of prizes, and with that, bringing those loads of prizes in, I put their names on craft sticks. So I put the names on craft sticks and I put them in a jar. I explained what it was, because we have students who like to fight, have issues. They like to get into things with each other, pick with each other. So I said, if you do one thing today, one thing, if you laugh at somebody or somebody gets hurt and you're laughing at them or you're bothering them, you're saying who asked you and things like that, because I have second graders, they like to pick with each other. So I said one time I did give them twice, but one time I'm going to take your name out of here. And then at the end of the day, there's no prize. When I pick a name out, your name won't even be in the running. So it worked today. Some people lost it because they weren't ready. They weren't ready. They lost their name out of the cup. So that was three. One, I had to give a few extra tries because she just definitely wasn't ready. So I did that. But in the meantime, while we were doing phonics or math and they were asking questions, I had these erasers, and the erasers are like puzzles. They come apart. It's a great idea, but it wasn't a great idea because then we're working and the students are playing with their racers, taking them apart and all this. And I told them they have to take care of it because they were just losing the pieces right as soon as I gave it to them. So we had to work on that. But the prizes work because it's gaining their attention. They're trying their best to do what they need to do. They really worked hard to stay in line. Some forgot, but I let them know it was like a example type day where I already explained, if you pick with somebody, if you do this, if you do that, I'm taking your name out of the running. So they lost, but tomorrow I know they'll be better because they were better the rest of the day, right? So that is something. And creative lesson planning. I even now I did it last year. It was just how I did it, but then this year I had to start over again. Where I put the work for the reading groups up on the board, and they rotated. They went to me, to reading, to some kind of word work, and with some kind of writing. So I did that, and some kind of group work maybe. So I did that. So now I start putting it back up on the board. I just give them each one thing to do. And so I'm trying to incorporate that. And then also, like I said earlier, where I have a sign up sheet, instead of just calling the whole group to me to work with, even though I did that today, I had the students sign up the time. They have 10-minute slots. Up to two people could come and sit and work with me for 10 minutes. So we get together and work on something that we needed to. Like my higher group, we are behind with our phonics and they are ready to go, but there's some kind of word patterns, spelling patterns that they are lacking. So we got together and we worked on that together. And then I sent them off to do work and sort the words and put them where they belong. So that works. And then as they left me, another two students came. I ended up with 4 students because the other ones, they weren't ready to be over there because they have read a lot because we were testing today. So it was a lot. But that lesson planning, differentiation of lesson planning, now we have to be so creative towards the end of the school year. There is there is there is you can't even say, oh, that's too much. Not at the end of the school year, because the students are, like I said, they're antsy, they want to move, they're like bored with the same old routine. We have to shake it up a little bit. And I'm liking what we're doing now. So I'm working on it. And then that keeps you on schedule if you have a differentiation, and you do it like I'm doing it right now, where I am calling students who sign up to come to my small group. As they sign up, then we work. But at the same time, you have someone who's not going to sign up. So I call them also. Today I had 4 when I had 2 signed up. So that really worked for me. And then work on things that improve that is something that improves your teaching, your lesson, honing in on those lesson plans and following the lesson plans almost to the letter, because that helps you with your time. I have alarm clocks all day, especially when I bring the students to. Hi, Ron, how are you? Um, Especially when I bring the students to me for small group, I have to put that 10-minute timer. I have to. So that helps me with keeping up with my time. And my students, I had a new student, and she doesn't understand about my alarm clock on my phone. She doesn't. She's like, who's calling you? Everybody else already knows that's the alarm. It's time for math, or it's time to change for writing, or whatever we're changing to. It's almost time for lunch. So they understand. They got that. So having those alarms, having that time, and then you get used to the time you look up, you glance up. But sometimes you're deep into a subject matter where it's a little, it's a little, you might forget. So, and then now also I'm finding where I have to today, I'm just saying, Ron over there, today is my first day going live. I'm just trying it. So I'm nervous over here sweating. I've been on live on YouTube and Facebook, but this is something new. I'm trying it. Um, so I have talked, I've been doing it, talking with my coworkers, collaborating. What are you working on? So how are you gonna maneuver through that? What is happening in science? How does that work? So that's something that we're working on, and then collaborating with the teacher, because the teacher might have a better idea, or they might have. How are you, LaShawn? I think that's LaShawn or DJ China Doll. I think that, I'm not sure. Um, Hi, how are you? So working with teachers and collaborating, they might have something that you need for science that you didn't get, like, because science comes with a lot, everything that you need, but there's not everything. There's a few things that it doesn't come with, like flour. We're making glue, and we're trying to make glue, trying to figure it out. we're we're working on making glue, and we're trying different mixtures. One of the mixtures is flour. Ask me how long. It's been a month. I still haven't bought the flour in, but there are the teachers who I can ask, did you bring your flour? How's this working? Are you actually mixing things? Are students understanding? So the students are, and I really like that part of it, where you could collaborate with other teachers and see what it is that they are working on. Is it, and it will it work for you? Will it work for your class? That it will tell you that, right? Watching somebody else. I went to another teacher's class last week where she was doing her science and she's ahead of me. It was my old partner teacher. So my students were at gym or something. I went in her class and I watched what she was doing, see how she was, making it work. So, and then also that progress monitoring, even daily. I think daily monitoring the students' progress. Don't wait till a month. We don't have that much time. So we have to have an urgency about what it is that we're doing. There has to be an urgency. We can't say, okay, in 2 weeks, I'm going to see if they get this concept, if they understand what's happening. You can't. We don't have time. We don't have time, because if they don't understand, I had to incorporate something all new today for one student. I was working with her. She's like, I don't know how to do that. And yes, you can. Yes, you do. Let's work together. I was working with her. She was like, I don't know how. No, let's try it. So then she started having success. And then she's like, I can do it by myself. I can do it by myself. So she started working on her own, but it was something totally different. No other student is doing. But it's something that we have to assess right now. We don't have time to think about it. We have to be urgent. We have to have an urgency, because these students are going to the next grade, hopefully. 9 times out of 10 are going to the next grade. We are not leaving students back. Not that that works anyway. Leaving students back, that's another opinion. That's for another day. We're not leaving students back. You're getting instructions where you can't fail a student. Students not learning anything, not doing anything. You can't fail them. So we have to figure it out how to work with the student. And I said that a few episodes ago, where I had this little girl. I had to figure out what it was. I said, I'm going to have her the rest of the school year. What am I going to do? I have to educate this student. That's period. I have to. There's nothing I can do. So I had to figure out how she learns. Let's get it. We get some drawings in. Let's get some manipulatives. And now she's mastering at least that little section. And that works every single year. You get with that one student, find out how they learn. And you have to educate your students. That's my thing. What are you going to do? No, you don't have everything that you need. No, they're not giving you. Nobody's coming to save you. None of that. You have to figure out how you're going to educate these students. These parents send their students to school just knowing. They just know you're teaching their child. They don't know. You have no clue, because you are teaching at your grade level and the child is not there. They don't have a clue about that. They think their parents think their kids are reading because they're reading books that are not even their grade level, lower than their grade level. So parents are like, they can read. No, they can't. They're reading kindergarten, first grade, and you're a third grade teacher. No, they can't. So we have to figure it out, get up in there, and have to have an urgency about it. That is something for real. We have to have an urgency. And how about even now, let the students have, empower the students. Let them be involved in their progress, in their learning. We have now on our desk, we have in 2 weeks, I forgot when our goal is up. In 2 weeks, we have these SMART goals. I said it, I've been saying it. We have SMART goals. We wrote out what our goal is for the next 2 weeks for, I think it's right when we come back from spring break. So we leave in 4 days, 3 days, and then we come back in a week, 2 weeks. So what are you planning? You students said, I'm going to read at the next reading level by 2 weeks. What am I going to do to read at that next reading level? I'm going to read every day. I'm going to ask questions about what I'm reading, right? I'm going to discuss what I'm reading so that I can understand it and I keep on going, moving every book in my level that's in my classroom, at the library, wherever. And then I come back and be tested, see if I grew any. So we're doing that. Math. Some people want to do 2-digit, 3-digit vertical addition. We didn't get to 3-digit. We just get into it this week. 2-digit vertical addition and subtraction. You want to know how we're going to practice every day. That's what I'm going to do. They put their goals. So you have to empower the students. We just can't assume they're going to get what we are teaching, understand the concepts. We just can't assume that. That is not how it really works, because our students, if they don't have a goal, just like us, if we don't have a goal, we're just out here. We're not going to meet anything. What are we going to meet? It's not going to work. You don't have anything to meet. It's just willy-nilly. I heard somebody say, you got a prayer, you got to ask God specifically what it is that you want, and then you sit down and plan it. So that's what we're doing with our students, letting our students understand you have to participate. You have to participate in your education. You have to go after it. You want to read better, you have to read. There's no other way around it. You want to be ready for multiplication. If you're in the second grade going to third grade, you have to practice the addition. You have to know how to how many groups in equal groups, all that kind of stuff. You have to understand that. So, and then also we're talking about celebrating their growth. I like I said, I had those erasers. I'm trying to figure out if that's a good idea or not. They're like puzzles where they can take things apart, and I don't know how it worked today. It worked. I don't know. It could have. Sorry, it worked a little bit, but then we got to science, which was the end of the day. Students are playing with it, and I'm asking questions, and they're playing. So I'm trying to figure out if that works, but it helped. It helped a lot. So celebrate. We had an award ceremony. I didn't have what I needed, so what I did, I was created my own award ceremony in my class, because, like I said, I just got these students in February. So they had an award ceremony for last market period. Here, I just got them. So we had our own ceremony in our class. I gave them their awards. They were happy. Everybody had their own specific award for what it is that they do, that they mastered, and that's great. I have a student. She loves math. She just loves it. She masters math, not masters math, second grade, but she mastered her level of math, and she was excited. There, this is what you got today. She came to school. She's on it today. I mean, I'm not gonna wood. I don't have wood, but I don't know what she's gonna be like tomorrow. But yeah, that works. And again, I was thinking about a project of some sort. To how like last year, the year before for math we did. We learned money, and then we learned buying and trading and bartering. And because we did that, we learned that we had a farmer's market, and people came in and we sold things. We sold fruit to our principal. Different teachers came in, different classes, whole classes came in, and it was exciting because they were able to give change. That was so exciting. I'm trying to see what's the issue now. Are we able to? Maybe we have to review it. And again, we have to be ready, have our students ready to transition into next year. Are they ready? What is it that we need to teach, that we need to hone in on? We need to hone in on a lot of spelling patterns for the students to be able to read certain words like silent letters. Uh, we I don't know what's going on. We took it took a minute because we just got to our phonics and our phonics programming. So we're behind in that. So students need to know IGH is the long I. They need to know that before they get to third grade. They need to know different. So we are working hard. That's why I had to do the sign up in a small group to get those students on task. Then when I say that the creative lesson planning, not only creative lesson planning, we have to talk about the classroom management. When it starts getting warm, they coming out after recess and all that kind of stuff. What is it going to be? Coming after recess, they're ready. A student today, he even understood. He said, we were testing though, but he came in, he said, "Can we put our heads down for 5 minutes?" And yes, you can, because that was my idea anyway. Because how am I going to bring them in from recess where they're running and jumping and then sit them down to take a state test? That doesn't work. So yeah, we're going to relax for 5 minutes and then we're going to get on. But we have to think about our students, where they're going to be next school year. Do they have an IEP? Are they working on grade level? Are they ready for the next grade? I know we might have high school teachers who have different type of they might have English 1 have to be ready for English 2. I'm not sure how that works, but they might have algebra and they need pre-calculus next year. They have to have that algebra down. They have to have those concepts mastered. So we have to, when I say have to have an urgency with what we're doing, that is where we're at right now. And we have to reflect. We can't even, like I said, we can't reflect once a month anymore. We can't. We don't have time for that. We have to reflect every day, every lesson, every math lesson, every literacy lesson, every science lesson, social studies, if you're doing that, and you have to prioritize each skill. What is the priority? What is the priority? And we have to just see how our curriculums work with us. And, because not every curriculum works with you. Like we have a literacy program, it's lacking a lot of things, lacking a lot. So we have to piece some things together and make it work because teachers are coming back. I had to go back. I forgot about grammar, like grammar. I would put it in a little bit and forget. So we have to understand, you have to talk about grammar. So we had to go back to that subject and predicate. Who or what does something and what do they do? And every sentence has a verb, every sentence has a predicate. I had to get back to that. So we have to just make sure align what you're teaching, even with the assessments that you have. Because even though you said teach it to the test, we don't want to teach to the test, but we have to because we have to. We have to. And I think one of the most important things is I tell my students, you want to know how to read. I don't care what you do when you get out of school, but you can't get out of school without knowing how to read, write, and do some math. You have to be able to calculate some things. You have to. Yeah, you're going to use a calculator, but you have to know what to put input to get the output, to see what the output is. So we have to use real world like that, like the what did I just say? The farmers market. That's real world. People are buying and selling everywhere you go. You can't do anything without buying something or selling something. Period. And use technology. Some things I couldn't help one student with. I had to go to the computer. This is what you have to do. Do this and then, follow this. This is a game specifically for your strategy, for your concept that you're trying to learn. And we have to, again, think critically. Teach them like the farmer's market. I don't keep going back to that. Farmer's market. Critically. You have this person over here at this stand selling apples for $1. Yours are $1.50. Is that smart? Somebody needs to recalculate, reassess how much they're going to sell their things for. Either that one's going to go up or you're going to go down. But you want to sell your thing, so you need a lower price. Those kind of things to help our students. I don't know. There's a few, we could that learning. Everybody learns differently. everybody learns differently. And then everybody has different interests, because um, I might not like reading nonfiction books. I might not. I don't care that Africa has how many countries. I might not care about that. I might not care that a lion, is in the jungle. I might, or wherever a lion is. See, I don't even know. But I might love science. Can we incorporate that into everything? We're talking, whatever we're talking about. We may not like to read. Let's find a book that you do like to read. You may love to read. I have a book that I read every day. I think this class is the one we got the furthest with. We read what's the book? Magic Treehouse books, right? We read those. Students love it. Kids say they don't like reading. Somebody said they don't like reading, but they're reading those. And so you do like reading. You just have to find something that you like. That's all. That's how it works. So we are doing, and then make sure we can find the gap. We can fill the gaps where the students are. Student might need just a little bit of support. Like today, I had a student a little bit of support. Then she was on her own because she was struggling. She was like, I cannot, I can't do this. And then I helped her. Then she was, I can do it myself. Yes, thank you. We got that. So we have to do that. And then we might have to adjust in the midstream, in the middle of a lesson. Students aren't getting it. Students are not comprehending. We might have to adjust. So just there's things that we have to do, things that we can learn as we go along. There's things that we have to know before we get to the classroom. So I'm working on those things right now. It's the end of the school year, using technology, thinking about the students' learning styles, giving them a choice board. What are you going to do tomorrow? That's going to be it, because I just gave them their own thing. But before, it used to be you do this, or this, whichever one, but you have to go all the way around. So right now, it might be you could do this or that, put it on the board, lay it all out, let them know what they can do, and they'll choose and they'll feel like empowered. They definitely will feel empowered. And then also collaborate. Let the students collaborate. We do that with math. You have to do a couple of questions on your own. Either you get it or you don't, and then you can work with a partner. You can do that. So we have to have those things. And then I don't know how you incorporate culture with certain things, but you can if we're talking about if you're talking about science or social studies. Well, we were talking about making jelly beans today. Who invented jelly beans? Was that we don't even know who invented jelly beans. Nobody knows that, right? They know around 1847, 1874, people started talking about jelly beans, writing about jelly beans. So we could say, well, I know my grandma might invented this or made this better, something like that. So we can incorporate. In my country, we didn't have jelly beans, but we might have had taffy or whatever. They could discuss things like that. So I just want to say again, thank you. So we want to talk about winding up this end of the school year, and having an urgency about what we're teaching our students. We need to have an urgency. We don't have time to play around with what let's see if they learn it by this week. We just have a couple months left of school. So, and then you have to be creative in your lesson planning. We just have to. Our principals are coming in, so we have to put whatever we're going to do, put it in our lesson plan so they can see, okay, I'm doing this, and this. These are the choices that they have, and this is real world experience, or however we want to word it, and work that thing. Let the students feel empowered. You'll feel empowered, and then you can relax a little bit. Give the students a choice. Say you could do this or whatever, and you'll feel empowered. But know that it's almost over, and you want to have your students ready for the next school year. That's how we have to have that urgency. I don't even know how else to say it. But then we have to relax. Make sure you're relaxing. You're not stressing yourself out because it is the interview, because we're doing a lot of testing. Make sure you are relaxed. Get your Z's. I keep on saying, I don't know, Shakita, I'm giving Shakita all this advertisement. But this is like probably my favorite cup. Um, you have to have that self-love. Take care of yourself. Don't stress yourself out. Try to teach somebody's child. They get it if they don't. Like, I work with them as hard as I can. I teach them how to work hard, and then we keep it, we have it ready to go. We're there. So I don't want to. We don't want to fail any students. When I say fail, I mean we don't. We want to do the best we can, making sure we are doing whatever we can to educate our students. So with that, I don't know if anybody here you have a question or a comment. I would appreciate it. I don't want to just shut it off. I knew last week. I don't know about Instagram, but I knew last week on YouTube, I had to wait a few minutes because somebody would say something way after. So I'm not sure. Any comments, because I've been teaching a long time, and I'm still trying. I'm still trying. We're still working. We're still working it out because each year is a new set of students. Each year it's a new set of personalities. There's no year is the same. You might be teaching the same concepts, the same information, but no year is the same. None. Like no student. I have only 11 students right now, and I had 50. Now I'm at 11, and these students all have their own personality. They all have to learn a different kind of way. None of them learn the same way. Some of them, they need things in their hands. Some of them, they could just read and answer it. So we have to be mindful of that. Not to mention our learning style, our teaching style. Our teaching style might not work for everybody. My boss said to me, I was having a problem. She's like, maybe it's you. I said, okay, maybe it is. I don't know. But because I work my students, we're working, and then we take a break. Then we're working, then we take a break. You're not going to sit here and do nothing. I didn't know she knew that. Like, I know she knew what I do, but I didn't know she understood. Like, you're just not sitting here and just gonna play. When we're working, you're not doing that. So um we have to take in our students' learning styles into account, as well as our teaching styles, because our teaching styles don't work for everybody. So we have to figure it out, come down to their level or their way of thinking, their way of learning, and teach it. Uh, I did changing these students. I feel like I didn't have enough time, to get it. So now we're making up for that time. So I'm not sure. I'm just gonna let you know this again. We are empowered educators under the umbrella of Educators with Oil, because every now and then I might come back with the scriptures and things like that. So let you know I still have my oil. So we're empowered educators, and we are here to offer strategies for effective teaching. We want to support and provide any information. We all are working hard. We all are trying to educate our students. So any strategy, any help will anything is a help. Anything, any collaboration is a help. Any advice is a help for the next day. Any support. We just might want to come here and relax and say, "Oh, she understands or he understands what I'm going through." So we're here. So again, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you over there on Instagram. I appreciate you on Facebook, LinkedIn, and uh YouTube. So I really appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, and have a blessed day. Now I don't know how to log out of here. We'll figure it out. I can fit that one. Okay. So thank you. Somebody should tell me how to get out of here. Just hit the X, I guess. There you go. Okay, let me see what we got. Oh, 6:30 or 5:30? Huh. Hmm. Was it 5:30? 6:30? Hmm. Wait, no. Okay. Hmm. Wait. Oh, I didn't end it.